morning, Gallup Hill School. My name is Georgie.
And I'm Cameron. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Both
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would everyone please remain standing for a moment of silence?
Good morning, Colonel. Would everyone please raise their right hand and repeat the bark pledge with us? I promise to be accepting, responsible, and kind. Everyone can now be seated. Let's go over to our weather center. What's going on outside today, Chris?
Here's today's weather. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Chris. Now it is time for our morning announcements.
Here is today's lunch menu.
The theme for January is creativity.
Good morning, Dr. Austen. Good morning, Trayvon. Good morning, Carlin. How are you two today? Good. Good.
Right before we came here, my teacher was reading a story,
Nice. Do you remember what it was?
It's called Posted.
Called what?
It's called Posted. It's about this girl had her phone out and said something about the teacher and this poor group of boys and just, let that girl sit next to them and they really knock it out.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Find out more about what happens there. So do you all have some questions for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it mean to be creative?
What does it mean to be creative? That is an excellent question, and I know that's our theme for this month. So being creative can mean a number of things. It means creating something pleasing to the eye or the ear, right? When you're creative with artwork or music, or let's say you're creating a book like you were just describing, right? So being an author is also being creative. But it can also be coming up with something new, a new approach to something to make our lives a little better, or an invention. So we have the invention convention coming up, being creative. Could also be coming up with new invention. But there's Steve Jobs. Do you know who he is? He's the founder of Apple. Are you familiar with Apple computers, Apple smartphones?
I don't use it.
Okay. Well, a lot of people do, and it's certainly a very popular company. And he was the founder of that company. And Apple is known for being very creative in their innovation with their products, but also making their products very appealing to the eye. So people really like the look of Apple products. Even things like, he thought of things like coming up with very appealing fonts on your computer. So he took into account lots of creative aspects to sell his product and make his product more appealing to the masses. Anyway, so he has this great quote that I love about creativity, and basically what it boils down to, he says it's all about connections or connectedness. So creating doesn't always mean coming up with something magical and new that's never ever been thought of before, but it's connecting things from the past and from your experiences and putting them perhaps together with what's going on now and making that connection to make an improvement. And like I said, whether that's with art, which we generally think of when we think of creativity, or it's coming up with something to improve our world, right? Or an invention. It's all about connections.
So why is it important to spend time getting
It's important to spend time being creative in school because, like I shared last month with critical thinking, is that that's what really is going to make us more successful in our world. Individually, when you go out for jobs, you're going to be more successful if you can be a problem solver, a critical thinker, and if you can think creatively, because that's really what we need to improve our world. And that's what we're looking for young people to do, right? Ultimately, you're going to make a contribution to the world around you. And being creative and being a creative thinker is something that we really need. So one way that we can help as teachers to give you time to be more creative is give you more opportunities to think critically and problem solve, and also give you time to process information. Remember I said it was about connecting things?
Yeah.
So it's not just like everyone has this eureka moment and a light bulb goes on like it does maybe in cartoons and aha, I thought of something brilliant. It often takes time to percolate or to process, and you need time to think. And so it's important in school that we give you time to experience the process of thinking creatively, because it doesn't happen overnight. It's often lots of work behind the scenes that takes place. So this is a time for you to spend working carefully and thoughtfully, and to notice those times when you have an opportunity to be creative, because it's a really good feeling, right? To share your unique thinking and make a new thought based on that. Do you have any other questions? Okay, so I have some questions for you. When do you feel the most creative during your school day?
When I'm writing my story, is talking about creativity and books. I'm actually trying to write a new book for we're doing class. We have to write a piece and we have to make it structured, like sequence, cause and effect, stuff like that. And mine is sequence. It's called I'm calling it outside. And so far I've got a few pictures in it, and it tells this boy with this condition, so no condition where if he goes outside at all, like for maybe even a minute, just for like exactly 1 minute, and he doesn't have anything to protect him on, his skin will, burn bad. So far I'm at the point where he's actually got NASA helping him making him a suit that protects him so he can go to a public school instead of going to school.
That's fascinating. And that is a real condition. I forget what it's called, but I read about that before. Especially if young people have that, it can really impact their life greatly. So that sounds really interesting. And I'm glad you said that writing is a time that you feel most creative in school, because I think it's just such a wonderful outlet for everybody when they write, is you're really creating something very unique. And that can be really fulfilling. Trayvon, can you think of a time when you felt creative in school?
Yeah. In art or not in third grade, but I was working with a third grade buddy on this
Last year in fifth grade?
Yeah. In the slideshow, like we had to create something about like an animal or something. And I did the black bear and it was cool. And in art, I made the stop motion with my friend. Stop motion with my friend. And it was funny and cool.
Some of the most famous scientists say that real science, like real in-depth science, is also an example of high creativity or mathematics, and I don't think we traditionally think of those times in our school day as being very creative, but they certainly can be, right? And our new curriculum that's more inquiry-based with science and social studies is certainly an opportunity for you to be creative. So think about it, throughout your school day, not just in traditional art class or music class, but think about other times when you're studying or learning. how you can be aware of your own creativity. Because it's one of the joys of being humans is that we're able to create. And a lot of times creative people have creative thoughts while they're doing other things than being forced in the moment to be creative. It might be when you're out playing, or I think of creative ideas or thoughts when I'm running, or you may think of it on your ride to school in the morning. So just being more aware of, how you can infuse more creativity into your life, but also when you're being creative is something that's really going to help you practice it more. But you're right, writing takes lots of revision and lots of practice. Are either of you going to participate in the invention convention? How about you, everyone? But that'll be examples, and when you get to go and view the inventions that kids have created, that's an example of the creative process taking time, because they don't come up with those inventions overnight, and they don't perfect those inventions overnight. It's a minimum of a 6-week period. All right, well, thank you both for coming and chatting with me today about creativity. I encourage you to be more creative in your class every day and in your life. Okay, thanks. Have a good rest of your day.
That's all for our program today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.